playground tycoons James Argostidis, 7, and his sister Ava, 10, have both had off-the-plan apartments bought in their names to be held in trust until they are old enough to move out of home. Parents Barbara and Adam Argostidis, who run a concrete pumping business, bought the apartments fearing by the time their children grew up they wouldn't be able to afford anything in the increasingly sought-after area. They do refer to them as my apartment, Ms. Argostidis said. But I think they are too young to understand what it's really all about. It's just novel as we drive past the building now. The two will get almost identical one-bedroom apartments, both with a price around $400,000. We have made a point of buying the same apartment number on the same floor in each building, so there's no disappointment later on in life, Ms. Argostidis said. Sil in Betly will one day be home to 7-year-old James Argostidis, whose parents have bought him a one-bedroom apartment in the development source supplied. Watching friends and family struggling to make a start in the market today had motivated them, she said. We thought we'd have two young kids looking at $1 million for a first apartment, she said. A tenant has been helping pay Ava's mortgage for the past 2 years. They bought the second apartment in the Seal development by B Central at 670 to 672 Centre Road, Betly East, recently. There's no word yet on whether the kids will have to keep their one-bedroom tidy source supplied. Bella Real Estate Director Heath Thompson handled the sale and said it wasn't the first time he'd had parents buy to help out their children, but most had older kids. This scenario is probably a bit longer term than we normally see, but I think we are probably going to see a lot more of it, Mr. Thompson said. Most parents helping out their kids did so to give them a good starting point, he said. And it does come up that some don't want their kids living at home to 30, he added. The Seal development has a mixture of 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments. Each comes with high ceilings, bright interiors and meal appliances in the midst of a sought-after Betly East hub at 670 Centre Road, a short drive from the beaches of Bayside, Melbourne. Real Estate Institute of Victoria figures show Melbourne's median one-bedroom unit price, which includes apartments, have almost doubled from $197,000 in 2002 to $372,000 today. REIV Chief Executive Gil King said the rises were a product of growing interest in Melbourne that was making affordable options more attractive. Strong price growth combined with high levels of interstate and overseas migration has changed the typical Australian concept of home ownership, with buyers now looking at affordable alternatives to the traditional quarter-acre block, Mr. King said. Many one-bedroom apartments are also now coming with impressive fixtures and fittings source supplied. Australian Housing and Urban Research Institute researcher Associate Professor Stephen Whelan co-authored a report into the impacts of parents providing assistance to their children entering the property market and said generous parents statistically improve their children's chances of breaking into the property market. But they might also be pricing those with less affluent families out.